So, Shafe, like, okay, we're still talking about Tyreek, but let's just use that as a maybe a stepping off point. Talked to a friend about some more details with that case, and the way Florida law works for the traffic stops. Once there's a couple of things that the officer is within their rights of requesting, such as the license and insurance. If they refuse, and then also the window, if they refuse those things, they are technically and actually resisting arrest. So at that point, the officer is within their authority to go hands-on. By hands-on, they can rip you out of the car right then and there for their own safety as well as yours. Meaning, the court case wouldn't necessarily be able to go anywhere for him if what my friend says is true and all those technicalities from what I saw in the body cam footage. Because you do have a non-compliant individual, and that's the scenario. So I don't believe, based on what I've been told, that that holds up in court for him at all to answer that. Yeah, and then the Latino police officers, yeah, you call me cold on that one. I should know better, being Miami and everything we hear about Miami. I'm not in that part of Florida, so I seldom think of Miami, you know, so I'd like to think as a Floridian I don't have to claim Miami. Although celebrities and very wealthy people, that may be all they know of Florida is Miami or Orlando. I should know because I used to watch these, there's a pass somewhere that boats come in off of the Atlantic that's pretty violent, like it gets very wavy and there's currents really heavy. Man, I can't think of the name of the video channel at this moment. It's like Waverly Boats or something, and they show a lot of that footage, but that is not what this is about. This is about honor culture, and I'd like to, if we can, and if you'd join me, take my hand and join me on this journey and philosophize about this honor culture that you pointed out, which you mentioned, just culture in general. And I'd heard somebody refer to it as honor culture, so I'd like to pursue that aspect of it. So, honor, if it's in a subjective context, say you're in a ghetto of sorts, whether that ghetto is all white, all Mexican, all Asian, all black, and say that area happens to be impoverished and you don't have an outside ladder you can climb. You don't see the potential of getting a job, getting a better job, saving up your money, acquiring things, bettering yourself, bettering your station in life. If there's no hope on that, what do you have? You turn back inward in this theory of mine. And just like you said, that's a situation that doesn't know color. This is also, I think, visually observable in the likes of these people. They like flashy things. They like their vehicles to be flashy. They like their outward appearance of things to be flashy. They all prefer the same types of dogs and animals, and they all seem to treat their female and their children in a very similar fashion. Just a very, dare I say, reptilian process. The issue with it is this flexible morality. You know, who calibrated their moral compass to true north? It isn't. It's like you said, it's very self-centered. It's narcissistic. I agree with that. So imagine that moral compass just kind of spinning around because you individually are the true north of this moral compass, and anything that moves it, you know, you're a product of your environment. You don't get to have, I would say, the privilege of having your environment being the product of you, except when you find success, such as the young man in this body cam footage. But it's delusional because you don't have that perspective anymore, and people will kiss your ass because of the money. I mean, rap singers talk about it. You know, some of them talk about the flash and this sort of shit, but other people such as Jay-Z, Hova, talk about the differences. Tupac talks about the differences in the situation. So is there a way out of it? I mean, people get out of it every day. They overcome every day. I believe politicians exploit it to make people possibly believe they've got the plan. I think politicians and government manage it to the point of they don't necessarily gather up the torches and pitchforks and run over to the rich side of town. You know, whenever they protest, they just burn their own shit down, it seems.